Then I met some friends for a beer. We went to a Bodine's concert. And son of a Vondruk, if I didn't leave him at the concert hall.
Hey, everybody. Shane Presley here, Rock Paper Podcast. Thank you for checking out another episode. With a big thank you to you for all your continued support. I'm glad you are here with me. I apologize for the little break, but I'm back. I got a lot going on personally lately, so this has been a little sporadic, but I appreciate you checking this episode out. And excited to welcome back to the show my friends, the Vondrukes. They got a brand new album, Too Many Monsters, available right now on your digital platforms of choice. And you can pick up a physical copy this Friday night, November 15th, at Off Broadway in St. Louis, Missouri. A special guest, Seashine and Aquitaine. So don't miss that party. Again, Friday night, Off Broadway in St. Louis, Missouri. Too Many Monsters album release party with your buddies, the Vondrukes. Yeah, I hope you enjoy this episode. We do a little sneak peek at the record. If you haven't got a chance to listen to it, some stories behind recording these songs, and had a lot of fun doing it. So hope you enjoy it. And if you need anything from me, you can always hit me up on the socials, rockpaperpodcast.com. Feel free to email me at rockpaperpodcast@gmail.com. And I'd love to hear from you. And with that out of the way, sit back, relax, and enjoy a brand new episode with the Vondrukes.
Podcast is kind of like it's like a radio show that's not on the radio. It's on the internet. Does that make sense? Uh-huh. Yeah. That's also like my mom. It makes it sound more confusing, doesn't it? It sounds like this.
We are the Vondrukes,
and you are listening to
Rock Paper Podcast.
Happy Holidays.
Rock Paper Podcast.
Scissors beat paper, paper covers rock. Rock beats scissors, Shane covers non-stop. Never know what new kind of guest that he's got coming at you. Live and direct on the spot. Could be rock, folk, country, or hip-hop, jazz. All kind of folks that he has. Could be an artist or a comedian to make you laugh on the
Rock Paper Podcast.
Double-decker fudge round, rolling round town. Shane coming at you live and direct from ground zero. He's your hero, he's your bestie. Rock Paper Podcast with Shane Presley.
Rock Paper Podcast.
Hey, everybody. Shane Presley here, Rock Paper Podcast, coming to you from St. Louis, Missouri. Hanging out today with returning guest, the Vondrukes. Welcome back, guys.
Thanks for having us.
Thank you.
Yeah, man. It's been a minute. I think we last sat down and did one of these in August of 2016.
Yeah, that sounds about right. Last time we released an album.
Yeah.
So promoting the new one now.
Right. Well, yeah, it's just it's crazy that the show's still going and you guys still going and everything else. Like it's glad we're still here all these years later. So
absolutely. Cheers to you. You did great work.
Oh, thanks, man.
Yeah.
I guess before we get going too far, so you can recognize these voices, you guys want to properly introduce yourselves for those listening?
Sure. My name is Jeff Griswold. I play bass and sing in the band.
My name's Bob McKee. I sing, play guitar.
Hey, I'm Jason Kettler, Kettler. I play rhythm guitar. These guys are also both songwriters, even though they won't admit it.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, like I said, we're here together again to talk about a brand new record, which I get just yesterday, right? As we're recording this,
Yeah.
was official release.
Yes, November 1st, released to the world. So
this, fresh off of this and everything, it's pretty exciting to be, have that out there, and especially after a little break. So I guess let's kind of go back. I mean, I guess, like I said, it's been 8 years since the last record. And how does all this start to get the wheels turning to get the band back together to do this new record? Where does is it like I pictured on my way over, I was thinking about that. I was like, is it like Blues Brothers, where you get the call, like, we're getting the band back together?
We never actually went away. We played shows after that last record all the way up till COVID, basically. So we were pretty active. We just didn't hadn't gotten back into the studio, and then obviously COVID happened, and we took kind of a longer break there, a couple years off. But once we got back together after COVID, then we started putting these new songs back together. Played 3 or 4 shows, and then took about the last year or so to produce the album. So
Part of the delay, we had some turnover in the band.
Mm-hmm.
So we had a new drummer. We were working in Justin Fulbright. He's not here today, but so maybe I'll take credit for the drums. But so we were working in Justin, and Allison Williamson also left. That's Jeff's sister. She used to sing harmony, play some percussion. So we had to retool some things from some old songs and figure out, how to move forward.
COVID changed so much. It was such an uncertain time. I'm sure a lot of bands didn't survive it.
Right.
Plus, as you get older, there's been a lot of kids added to the band too, and those take up a lot of time. So I think it's pretty amazing for people with our jobs, families to still maintain and make this a priority in our lives each week.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree. Obviously, it's, hard enough to just myself, doing the show, like to stay with it for, any number of years and everything. And, just to continue to make it, it's fun. It's still a passion project, kind of thing.
Yeah,
I enjoy doing it. And, so I think of this as like my creative outlet, just like you guys are in a band.
Absolutely.
So it's like, I can't really imagine not, having it a part of my life. So it's like whether in one way or another, like, so I keep it going, but whether same thing with you guys might be a little bit of a break, here and there and stuff, like you're not, as active or more active than other times. And so, things like that. So, but I think of, anybody, it's always feels good when you do come back together and jam and practice. And then especially like as you're getting everything going to get towards recording this new record and everything else, getting to do that again.
Sure. Did you see a downturn in bands able to do this during the pandemic? Is that starting to come back?
Yeah. I mean, I don't know. It seems like there's always, people coming and going. I think that's with anything, like people start new projects all the time and stuff. So like, obviously during the height of everything, we were trying to keep up with people through Zoom and stuff like that. And there was people still trying to do things, creatively. Then at home and stuff, obviously so they would start something new project, even though they couldn't jam with like the full band or whatever. So there's stuff like that. But yeah, I don't know if it's really hard to say. Like if
it seems like there's fewer local shows, maybe even local venues that survive. So maybe there's fewer shows to promote, like we're trying to do.
Yeah, it's definitely tougher to book shows these days. When we first started doing shows after the pandemic in January of 22, I believe. Yeah, I mean, there's only a handful of venues that are doing local shows now, and most of them had a 3 to 4 month wait to book, So our first show back, I think we booked in like August of 21, didn't play till January of 22. So yeah, the local scene did take a hit after that, but kudos to like places like the Heavy Anchor and the Sinkhole, and they're putting on a lot of good local shows, have some touring bands coming through and throwing some local acts on with those. But cheers to them for keeping things going,
Yeah, for sure. And where you guys will be at soon, off Broadway is another great room that has been holding it down for
stalwart.
Yeah,
been around forever.
Yeah.
Yeah, this will be our first time playing on their new extended stage, so we're excited about that. Yeah, they did that. That was over the pandemic. They built the new stage and added another cluster or fill for their PA. So I think they have a left, center, right now, and so yeah, we're excited to get back in the new and improved stage and play one of our favorite rooms in the city for sure.
Yeah. So that'll be November 15th, big album release party at Off Broadway, celebrating the Vondrukes Too Many Monsters album. And this is an all ages event. And you can grab your tickets right now. Off Broadway, STL.com, I believe, is the website. And you were bringing along some special guests to support the bill. You guys want to talk about them?
Yeah. So we're real excited about this. We reached out to our old friends Aquitaine, and it's been a while since they've played out. So they're kind of coming out of semi-retirement, and we're really looking forward to that. I think the last time that we played with them, they made sure that the smoke machine was on, so we couldn't see them for half the show.
Good. So good.
And then we're also excited to play with Seashine, and that'll be fun. Kate Hayes is in that band, and she was in the Poorhouse Says with me. So looking forward to seeing her and playing with Seashine.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's always fun to be able to actually play a bill with friends, like sometimes you don't know the other bands, and so it can get a little awkward until you meet them. But yeah, we're real excited to be playing with old friends. Yeah, Aquitaine, we played 2 or 3 shows with them back in the day, and they were always a lot of fun, like high energy stuff. So you're not going to want to miss that. And then Seashine is going to open the night. They play right at 8:00. Some STL shoegaze. So yeah, it's going to be a good night. Like you said, all ages show. I think some of us are bringing our kids. So if you're weary about that, go ahead and bring those kids out. They'll enjoy it too. You just might want to bring them some earplugs. But yeah, we can't wait. Can't wait.
Yeah, very cool. But yeah, grab tickets. Join us at Off Broadway in St. Louis, Missouri. Well, let's give them a little sneak peek at this record. Like I said, all these songs are now available on all your favorite digital music platforms, wherever you're getting your music at today. And but you guys have CD copies, right, for the show?
Yep, we'll have them for sale at the show. And if you want to get it before the show, you can get them at most record shops here in St. Louis. We dropped copies off at all your favorite record stores. So pop in and grab one. They're priced to move.
Yeah. And let's start with a tune called Pilot Life. As a
mellow one to start.
Yeah. Yeah. What do you guys want to tell me about Pilot Life? Any whether lyrics or recording or anything that come to mind? So
it's a song that I wrote, and one of the things that I think I've been driven by seeing some of my favorite musicians as they've gotten older. I really appreciate when they keep the energy high, and it's kind of easy to fall back and say, I just want to play some softer music. And I've been real inspired by some people like Alejandro Escobedo is a big influence. So Pilot Life is about looking back at your life, where you were at different stages. In this song, I pull out like 20 when I was 29 years old, and when I was 39, and then when I wrote the song, I was 49. So, but just looking at that and thinking about what all I've done, who I am, and just the changes that you go through in life. So, but it's a very upbeat, kind of punky song. Had a lot of fun recording it. There's some tricky riffs that all 3 of us here play, and it's fun.
Some smoking horn lines too. I actually broke out my trombone for the record on this. So there's trumpet and trombone on this track. So there's a little bit of punk, a little kind of ska feel almost to it. But it's definitely a fun, driving, intense song. So
when you play it, you can't do anything but unconsciously take a wide rock stance.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
25 again. Pilot life, pilot life.
It's a good representation too of a lot of the music, just the overall vibe. You know, this album I think is definitely a little bit more. I think it's very high energy. I like to use the term urgent. You know, when I'm thinking about some of these songs, and we've got some others that are a little bit more laid back, but the album overall is very high energy.
Yeah, I was kind of wondering about that. Like, you know, if you guys been doing this for quite a while now, and then obviously we grow and change as adults. You've been introduced to all sorts of new music since then and everything else too. And it's like, I wonder how much of that kind of funnels into the music as far as like going and create this new record. Like, you know, if this is very much influenced by today, you know, like what you're not always just, you know, feeling in the lyrics and things, but as far as even sonically and stuff, what you guys are different guitar tones and all the other things. If like you heard something on somebody else's new record, or if it's still like the same things that you kind of, you know, are you guys still heavily influenced by the heroes that you know, started playing because of that, you know? So I was wondering about that too, like how much of the influences are coming through, you think?
Yeah. I think, you know, from a lyric standpoint, lyrics always reflect your experiences.
Right.
So, you know, and people change over the years and your road takes different turns and whatnot. But, like I said, I think just seeing some of my heroes continuing to play, you know, or like last night I was watching a documentary on Bruce Springsteen and the tour right after COVID, and to see him go out there and still rock like that, is really inspiring. And so, you know, when I see that, it makes me want to continue to write high energy music. You know,
yeah. I think we've still stuck to sort of our roots. You know, like our very first album in 2010 was pretty high intensity as well. Like a lot of, as we called it then, cowpunk sort of style. I would say that we're not quite as country maybe as we were back in 2010.
Mm-hmm.
We do have a few songs with some twang to them, but I feel like we've kind of leaned into the hard rock element a little bit more. A lot of riff, like Jason and Bob are both constantly trying to upgrade their sound and getting new pedals and amps and guitars and trying new things. And they love trying to get that best guitar tone they can. And so I think we're very guitar and riff driven, I think, these days. And so we really like to, like Bob said, keep the energy high, have fun. And that's kind of what we've done all along, is just, especially in our live show, we just get on stage, have fun with the crowd, and, you know, make sure everything stays at a nice high energy. So
as you get older, you listen to those old first recordings and you can't believe how fast you played them. Like, the tempos of those are it comes back, but it takes a little work to get back there.
Very true. Yeah. We're breaking out some old tunes for the release show, and we were listening to them and we're like, holy shit, we played that fast. Right. We're not going to play it that fast at the show, but we're not going to spoil any of our breakout songs we're doing, but we are going to do some old fan favorites from our first couple albums. So, but yeah, maybe not quite up to speed, but yeah, we'll get there.
Yeah. You said cowpunk and triggered a memory. I saw this video the other day from James Austin Johnson from SNL. Mm-hmm. He's been doing the Trump impression and stuff. This is on his Instagram, and I thought you guys would get a kick out of this. So I'll play it for the show.
As a naturalist, this pop country stuff, and I just kind of can never get into it, you know, because I'm more of like a Civil War ballads, kind of folky sort of roots rock kind of thing, you know, sort of neo folk, sort of newgrass meets bluegrass kind of folk Americana thing, because, you know, that's just so much more interesting to me than this pop country stuff, which is so boring. Like, I can't get into any of this pop country crap. I don't do that pop country stuff. I'm more sort of Americana kind of roots, sort of folky, kind of Lomax recording, sort of roots rock, kind of southern rock, sort of by way of cowpunk kind of thing. I just don't really do this pop country crap. I alt country, you know, I like that alt country sort of more Sun Volt than than Golden Smog, but like, you know, more like sort of Americana sort of roots kind of thing, roots rock sort of thing, sort of Oh Brother Where Art Thou soundtrack kind of bluegrass type things. I don't really get into this pop country crap. So the opportunity.
That's great. I hadn't seen that. That's so good. We totally relate to that.
It's pretty accurate.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, we've talked to people about even listening to this new album, and we have a lot of influences though. Like obviously we have a trumpet in the band, so there's kind of the Latin sort of jazz feel sometimes. We have a song that's more just really like almost like a Rage Against the Machine kind of riff, like very driving and intense. We have, you know, some blues rock, so a little bit. We definitely are as Off Broadway described us in the show description, genre bending. So you know, we have a lot of different sounds, but the overarching theme is high energy, I'd say.
Not pop country.
Yeah,
Not pop country.
Right. Yeah. Yeah, I enjoyed I don't know, I just
That's what everybody does.
sorry. I didn't mean to do that again. I don't know that I recalled as much horns on the last record. I just I know there was present, but like I feel like this one I noticed it seemed a lot more trumpet, and so I don't know if that had to do with some of the member changes and things too, but if it was just these songs lended better to having more horn trumpet on there and stuff. But
yeah, I think we definitely made it a point to work it in a little bit more.
Right.
Justin Ellis, who's our trumpet player, when he joined the band back then, we were kind of having guest trumpet players play like 3 or 4 tunes per show. And then when Justin became a member, we tried to work it in more. And then he also plays keyboards on a lot of the stuff now. So he's definitely keeping a lot busier these days. During the show, he's singing Allison's high harmony parts on our old tunes, and he sings a lot of the harmonies on the new music. And then, he's playing a lot of trumpet. So we've got a full show ahead. So he's been making sure his chops are in shape so he can make it through the whole show. But yeah, we definitely worked in a lot of trumpet in this one. So
and I don't understand the physics behind it, but with three or four amplified instruments in the band, somehow the unamplified trumpet is still the loudest instrument. Oh, man, it's unbelievable.
all right,
we had to get a sound baffle in our practice space to save our ears.
Yeah, I'm digging it though. I gave the record a listen the other day, and then on the way over here too, just to get it fresh again. And but yeah, it really sounds great. And so pick up a copy on CD at your favorite local record store or the album release party, or you can find it on all the streaming platforms. And it's on Bandcamp as well, right?
Yep,
I think so.
It is.
And shout out to Jeff, who recorded it at his house on his equipment.
Yeah,
You wouldn't know it listening to it. It sounds like a professional studio.
for sure. Yeah.
You saying I'm not a professional studio?
You're a professional studio.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was definitely a good challenge. It was a lot of work, but yeah, we recorded live in my basement. I've had a home studio for probably close to 20 years now, but I hadn't really done a full album since our last album. So 2 albums ago, actually, I didn't do the last one. I handed off the reins on our last album because I wanted another set of ears. But yeah, we prepped hard. We rehearsed all these songs for, I think it was about 4 months or so. We just hit these songs real hard so we could record live. So yep, I set up my basement, had a lot of good sound separation ideas, and we recorded everything live except for vocals and guitar solos, which we overdubbed. But yeah, recorded live and then did all the production right in house. So we saved a little bit of money there, but hopefully everybody enjoys the sound of it. Might not be pop country sound, but I think we did a good job with it.
Is it you mixed and mastered also, or do you have somebody else up with that?
Yep, I did all of it. Yeah, mixed, mastered.
Nice.
Yep, the whole thing.
Yeah, I like you're saying. I think like it's great that we have all this ability to do that stuff. Like I was having home studios or having access to better technology and equipment that we can do these kind of things. But I do feel like you're saying, kind of having that outside perspective sometimes on things, like, it's that some people can turn over, some people can, it's like, it's very much their project and they see it that way, but it's like, not that there's any right or wrong, but I think sometimes having that outside perspective, like, is that we can step away from it and people be like, what if we change this slightly or do this one little thing or cut this part or whatever. Having offering those opinions, I think sometimes can, really help elevate a project or,
Right.
But
you can watch dozens of music documentaries and it goes either way. Like the outside producer makes it amazing album, or he ruins the album according to the musicians. With the benefit of hindsight, either way.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, there's like I said, there's no right answer. It's just whatever you feel for that particular project and stuff. But
Yeah, it'd been a while since I took on that challenge, so I was up for the challenge. I did take the approach, though, that I didn't really want to just beat it into the ground. The last album I did, we just tweaked and tweaked and tweaked, and it's it's kind of a blessing and a curse, because yes, it's your stuff and you can take as much time as you need, but it also feels like it's almost never ending, because you could always keep tweaking and never end. But with this one, I would get a mix going, send it to the band, and get some feedback, make some tweaks, but we really wanted to take a more of a bare bones approach this way. We recorded it live, didn't want to use any crazy studio tricks, just make it sound like we're playing on stage. We wanted it to sound as close to live as possible. Didn't add any extra bells and whistles, no extra, there's one song on here, The Point of No Return, where I actually recorded at work. I work in a venue, and we had a concert band on stage, and I actually recorded them yelling "Hey!" So if you go to Point of No Return, there's a part where they go "Hey, hey," and there was 100 people on stage. So that's an actual real recording of a big crowd yelling "Hey!" So that's really the only element that we added that isn't maybe going to happen in our live show. But other than that, we took a real kind of bare bones approach and tried to make it sound as real as we could. So
I bet we can get 100 people to say, "Hey, the show coming up." So
yeah, we'll have to have a little lesson right before the song. Like, everybody, here's what we're going to get.
Here's your cue.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
They all wanted a credit too on the album.
Yeah, right. Thank you notes got real long here.
Yeah. And Bob also does production too. He has another band called Mr. Personality that, shameless plug, they released an album a couple months ago, so check them out too. But Bob did all the production on that, so as well as his solo album. So in the last year or so, Bob's done 2 albums here in his studio. So got some audio engineers in the house here.
Nice.
Yeah, a lot of things to say.
Yes. Yeah, songs just pour out of this guy. It's crazy.
Yeah, we were down here not too long ago talking about that solo record, so it was fun to do that. And then, but yeah, I'm glad when you guys called to catch up and get to come back over here. And let's play another tune. This one titled "Gas Pump Famous," and
there's a good story behind this that Jeff has.
Yeah.
This one was, my daughter was in a commercial. She recorded a commercial for MoDOT. She was the spokeskid for highway safety. And so she went to Kansas City, St. Louis, Columbia. They recorded her all over Missouri doing this like PSA thing, about highway safety and not driving drunk, not driving distracted. And so anyway, she recorded this commercial, and one day out of the blue, my wife's cousin called her and said that she met someone at Disney World who lived in Missouri that saw this commercial on a gas pump. So the commercial was played mostly on like YouTube, Hulu, streaming services, but they also played it on the gas pump advertisements you see, And so my wife's cousin called and said, "I just talked to somebody at Disney World who saw Nora on a gas pump, and I think she's gas pump famous." And, so that's kind of where the inspiration for this song came. I literally went downstairs and wrote the song the day that Emily's cousin called, because it was just, the entire story is right there in the song. It starts out with her being at Walt Disney World and meeting people from Missouri. And then she said, "Oh, do you know my cousin? She's the face of highway safety." And they're like, "Yeah," and they saw her, and yeah, that's where the song came from. It was one of our less serious songs, I'd say, probably, but this one kind of has a little bit of a little bit more of like a pop punk kind of feel to it. Little Strokes guitar riff in there, sort of. So this one's got a little bit different feel as well. But yeah, that's where the story comes from on that one.
Yeah, I did like there is we kind of talked a little bit off mic. There's some more like political kind of charged lyrics on some of these songs, and so having this to kind of balance a little more lighthearted, like you're saying, like it's just kind of a fun song about being gas pump famous. So
yeah.
Which I also really like the line where you say that they make a great band name.
Yeah.
Because it's one of my, there's a guy, Adam Ray, that I like a lot. He's a comedian and he does a podcast, and people will say these things like, just random phrases or whatever. And he's like, oh, that's a great, he's like, I think they're playing Coachella, and just like stuff like that. Like make a jokes about it and stuff but it's we say so many goofy things like that they do sound like, and especially we got to the point now where band names have had to be, you have to do something to stand out. You can't.
Right.
Everything's been taken pretty much at this point, so it's hard to come up with something. But
that would make a great band name, but Gas Pump Famous is now trademarked. So
yeah, right. Yeah.
Sorry.
Yeah.
Man, do you guys remember when we tried to name this band?
Oh yeah,
King's Royal Curlers.
We were actually the King's Royal Curlers for about a week.
It sounded okay at the time.
And then I vetoed that shit. I'm like, you know what? I can't live with this. Not that Vondrukes is any better, but but yeah, we
it was right after the Olympics, right?
Yeah.
Winter Olympics.
We narrowed it down to I can't remember how many names, maybe 6 or so, and then the band voted. We actually did a system where everybody got like 3 votes, and you could put all 3 votes for one name or 1 vote for 3 names, and somehow King's Royal Curlers won. And then after about a week, I'm like, I don't think I can do this, guys.
You have veto power.
So, yeah, that's a fun fact. What was the Vondrukes' initial name?
Yeah,
that'll be on trivia night someday.
Right. It would be. I don't know. Like sometimes it's funny, like to think about too, like the possible merch ideas, for things like. And I don't know for what reason, as you said, Kurt, like obviously you were talking about Olympic, but I started picturing like a king with like the old curlers in his hair or something like that, that kind of thing. So
exactly,
be fun logo.
Yeah, maybe we can have an album named King's Royal Curlers, tribute or song or something. I don't know.
If King Gizzard and Lizard Wizard can do it, then we can do it too.
Yeah. So again, check it out. You can find Gas Pump Famous wherever you're listening to music. Add it to your playlist and jam that tune. And the rest of this record, why Too Many Monsters? Let's talk about the title and the artwork and everything to go with it. Is anything
Too Many Monsters? So all of our albums, the names usually come from a lyric. And so that is actually a lyric on the song Point of No Return. The Point of No Return song is about gun control and about the problems we have with mass shootings here in America. And so the Too Many Monsters is a lyric on the bridge that just says there's, yes, we know that there are responsible gun owners in this country, and we're not blaming you, but there are too many monsters in this country to not do anything about it, And so we went through all the lyrics of all of our songs, and Too Many Monsters just seemed to be kind of the one that was an overarching theme of the whole album, because there is a lot of political topics in here and a lot of social things that we talk about, and so
even it relates to some of the more personal things as well. So it kind of hits both some of the political themes, but also the introspective themes of some of the other songs.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. So that's where it came from. Yeah. All of our albums have we've always just kind of taken a little lyric from a song and put it as the album title. So,
yeah. And what about the artwork? How we come up with that design?
So that is a gas pump monster.
All right.
So that's kind of where the idea came from. We did want to incorporate the gas pump theme from the song, and then of course the monster element. So gas pump monster. We threw a few extra like St. Louis tidbits in there with the Route 66 sign and the fleur de lis, and then there's a little sign on the far right, bottom right piece of the photo that says firearm show, and that's again another lyric from Point of No Return. But that was the idea behind the image was a gas pump monster. So
kind of a rural Missourian sort of set, I would say. Like that's what that image reminds me of, anyway.
Yeah.
Yeah, and with the, speaking on the rural theme, the song "Small Town Folks" is another tune on there that speaks to my experience growing up in small towns, but then eventually making it here to the big city. But saying that I think we still need to try to get along with the small town folks because they're not a bunch of hillbillies, just running around. There's actually some good people in small towns as well. So that kind of hits on the little rural element as well.
Yeah, man.
And you won't see it if you just buy the electronic copy, but on the back of the CD is a photo of us sitting at Crestwood Bowl. It's actually one of my favorite band photos that we've ever taken. So it was a really cool moment.
The place is a bit of anachronism. Being the son of a mom who bowled and would hang out at bowling alleys, it's old school. 1970s feel old school. I think you could still even smoke in there at the time.
Yeah.
Buy beer by the pitcher for like $6. It was,
My wife pointed out that I didn't give her a photo credit, so here you go.
On the album.
Photo by Jordan McKee.
Dang it. Yeah, give her a shout out there.
Yeah.
So, yeah, we went to Crestwood Bowl to do our band photo because we hadn't updated one for forever, and we got a few good ones. But the one that's actually on the album was a candid photo. Like, we weren't posing. We were just. If you look at the photo, it looks like Jason said something inappropriate, and we're all cracking up. So that's
and he probably did.
Possible. Probably what happened.
Yeah, it's I love those like you're saying, like you described, like those bowling alleys that are just kind of like that. They, obviously a lot of we have a few that have upgraded all the things, but I like those that are kind of like preserved everything like as is, like for the most part, and it's like it just because so many things do change, but it's like it's nice that the bowling alley stayed the same like over the years.
Sure.
So
in some small towns, that's kind of the center of the social scene anyway.
Right.
They even still have half their neon sign out, right?
Yeah. But yeah, it's just like and especially as things become multi-generational, like you're saying, your mom and you, and then now you probably going back with kids and stuff too. So it's like it's that kind of thing where this is exactly how it was when I was a kid when I came here. Now I get to introduce it to my kids or whatever it is, but it's like
there aren't that many of those things left.
Yeah,
everything's online.
Right. So. Some of those, obviously bowling alley holds up, but we were just kind of having a talk the other night about like doing that same thing with like movies, like my buddy was trying to introduce his son to like the stuff he grew up on, Sandlot and all these, whatever these classic movies and stuff. And like, and he was like, what, Big Trouble in Little Tokyo and stuff, and like these things. And he's like, oh, I don't like it. He's like, this is,
cheesy.
Yeah. It's just like, some of those things hold up, they stand the test of time. Some things don't, so it's just interesting. Like
cyclical, I think they'll come back and be cult classics
for sure.
Later.
But yeah, like I said, I think, can't go wrong with a couple hours at a bowling alley with some rental shoes and some nachos and whatever.
Absolutely.
And pitcher of beer. And so,
yeah.
Yeah. So, I also, speaking of bowling, I also recently saw a clip online of Kingpin talking about Bill Murray in that movie when he, as Big Earn, like does like the throws the strikes at the end of the movie and stuff. Like that was actually like a I think it was Ethan Cohen, right? From there, director. And he was saying like that was actually like a live crowd there at the bowling alley, and that Bill Murray did that all live. Like he actually did throw those strikes and stuff. So that reaction of the crowd, like freaking out, like it was actually a legitimate thing, not just like acting. So I just thought that was a fun bowling story. So yeah. Classic movie for sure. So
yeah, love it.
Well, so we got the show coming up again. That's November 15th at Off Broadway in St. Louis, Missouri. Big album release party for Too Many Monsters with special guests Aquitaine and Seashine. What is there anything else in works to celebrate this record other than the album release? I mean, are you thinking anything for possible music videos or in stores at any of these record stores we mentioned, or like that kind of stuff? Like, is there some other things in works for the
no real plans? This has been a long process, so this is kind of the light at the end of the tunnel for us. So once we do this release show, we'll probably take a few weeks off and then we're looking to play some more shows in the wintertime and see what's next. Bob and I have already been spitballing about next album and ideas, possibly doing a concept album for our next one. But yeah, I think this is kind of the culmination of everything. We've been working on this thing for a little over a year now, and we're ready to party and rock out with everybody, and then take a little time to recuperate and get back on it, play some shows.
Yeah, that all sounds good.
Yeah.
Do you guys foresee any like out of town stuff? Do you think that'll happen?
I'd love that. Yeah, yeah. We all have pretty busy schedules.
Sure.
But we'll be looking at trying to get at least a weekend or two out of town. We have a lot of friends in Kansas City and Springfield. And so, yeah, we definitely love to do that. No plans right now, but we've definitely talked about it. And I think we have enough of a following in some regional areas that we could go and have a good show there. So
yeah,
but yeah, definitely on the radar.
Yeah, that's kind of, I mean, like, it's been talked about a lot on this show, but the fact that we have that option, like it's a quick drive up Highway 70 and you can hit Kansas City and Columbia on the way back or whatever, and like that's a good weekend to and get to see some people that get the music in front of some new people, and but yeah. It's plus you get to get some Shakespeare's pizza or some barbecue or
absolutely. I love Shakespeare's pizza.
Mexican Villa in Springfield.
Yeah.
No.
Polarizing.
Yeah.
In the jazz in Kansas City, that's my go-to spot.
Yeah.
Cajun food.
Yeah.
Along with all the great barbecue.
Right. Yeah, that's one of my favorite things. I'm a bit of a foodie, so it's like getting out and trying all the new things or visiting some old favorites and stuff. So
it's kind of freeing playing your music to a crowd that's not familiar with you. And it's kind of exciting, to present it to someone who's maybe unsure and do your best.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I say a lot, like, like so many people I feel like are afraid to try new things. It's like they're comfortable with the stuff they listen to in high school. They go see the same bands. They go to the same shows. And, I got friends that, like follow Dave Matthews Band around and stuff. Like nothing wrong with Dave, but they've seen the show 100 times and stuff, I'm like, there's a lot of great music out there. And like but I'm always like trying to preach to people, like you never know when you're going to find your next favorite band. I like show up early to the shows, support the whole show, it's like, but I've discovered so many great bands that like, I have no idea what these people are about. I'm going to go see what's going on. And you fall in love with what they're doing. And
music festivals can come with some hassles and inconveniences, but it's a really good place to discover stuff that you had no idea or that you've heard of and dismissed. And then you see it live and it can really change your mind.
Yeah. Yeah. I think, and kind of going along with what you guys were saying about recording wise, I think there's a lot of that. Like some bands record, their record sounds one way, and then you go see a live show and it's like completely different I've always been big on like bands that sound like their records. Like, it's nice when you can pretty much take home what you saw and there's not a lot of extra stuff on the record, but, so yeah, I think that's a big part of it too, is just experiencing it live to see what is really like this band's about and stuff. So, but yeah, I'm glad you guys went with that kind of more of a live approach to it, to making this record.
helps with the energy too. Like everybody being in the room playing together, you just play differently when you're playing with everyone, you know? Like if you're overdubbing parts, it just seems a little more stale. So recording live is like, yeah, that's just the way to go for us. We just all feed off each other and gives the songs more life.
Yeah,
for sure.
Well, I got a few questions I like asking and get your guys' take on these just to have some fun with these. Say we got a Vondrukes action figures coming out. What would you guys like to see with your particular character? Is there like you got 3 accessories to go with your guy?
Mine would have hair.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's a good question.
I'd want a lightsaber.
Yeah,
for sure.
Right.
Nice.
That's accessory number 1.
If we're going with weapons, I want Kroll. Have you ever seen the 80s movie Kroll with his? It's like a star-shaped sword.
Okay, I don't know if I'm
Spins. No,
nice.
No one. All right.
No.
Okay, you can cut that out.
Oh man. I'd probably be buff and wear tights.
Yeah.
I might wear tights for the show.
Maybe all of us should. We should go all get tights.
Yeah.
Chaps over tights. Does that work?
Yes.
I'll allow it.
Let us know if you want us to show up wearing tights
Yeah.
on the 15th. We can make that happen.
Yeah, I just think it's fun because we're all from that era of the action figures, collecting all the things. So, all right. What about? Is there something that you guys think or would like to do that you think you could get into the Guinness Book of World Records for as a band?
Yes.
Yeah.
For being on time. We are the most on-time band showing up for gigs. And
yes.
We are prompt.
Yes, St. Louis is the most prompt band.
Yeah.
Most accurate stage plots as well.
Yeah, we had several shows, not several, but a few where we actually beat the sound guy to the venue.
Oh yeah.
So yeah, we definitely prompt.
Yep. Prompt.
Most prompt band, Guinness Book of World Records. I don't know how they would measure that.
All right. I was thinking too, like, we maybe more than ever have chances for placement in movies and TV shows and everything else. I mean, there's so many different networks and streamers and all the other things. So there's all these different multimedia going on. Is there anything like you guys think the Vondrukes would fit in well with a show or TV movie or anything? Do you see when you think of the band or your sounds, do you think there's something that it would lend well to?
I can relate to the show Severance. Have you seen Severance?
I've not seen that one yet.
Well, it's basically you go into work and you have basically an implant that separates your non-work life from your work life. I kind of feel like that's my life. No one I work with would expect me to play rock and roll in a band, for example.
And none of your bandmates would expect you to be working in finance.
Right.
IT security.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. Bob, you have any ideas?
Only because I've been binge watching this show from, I think it's the early 2000s, Monk. So yeah, sub us in for some of the music that was put in Monk.
There you go.
It's a pretty cheesy but interesting show.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think one of the newer shows that people have been watching is The Bear. It's based out of Chicago, so it's mostly Chicago bands, but I think some of our more intense songs could go well while they're doing those intense kitchen scenes in The Bear.
There you go.
Yeah.
All right. Well, let's make it happen. Let's make some calls.
Yeah, for sure. If you can get on that for us, we appreciate it.
All right.
We'll give you an extra CD.
Nice, thank you. Yeah, I don't know how that stuff works. I mean, I'm guessing they might all have a particular person that runs their music for them and stuff. But it's like, how do you get on their radars and stuff like that kind of thing? Like, are they?
I do know, Cree Ryder, I assume.
Yeah.
Good friend of ours.
Yeah, I
and
know he's got
played shows with him, and he had a song played on True Blood on HBO several years ago. So maybe we need to call him and ask him what he did.
Yeah. Start getting that mailbox.
True Blood,
money,
they had more of kind of a Americana sort of feel. They were out of Louisiana, I think, but yeah.
Yeah. I just think that'd be cool. I mean, that'd be a fun moment for sure. Hearing your songs on those shows or whatever. So, you got, obviously this record, you guys, it's all in house with the band, but do you, is there a dream duet or collaboration you guys would like to see with the band? Is there a...
But we all have different answers for that.
Who you got, Ken?
Jason?
Well, I mean, it'd have to blend somewhat, so it couldn't be too disparate another band, but you guys go first.
A dream duet, huh?
Or feature,
collaboration.
Anything, feature player, or something like that.
Well, we've always enjoyed Beth Bombara. We've played a lot of shows with her as well, but it'd be fun to have her sing on one of our tracks.
Or Eric Reichman.
Right.
Yeah.
Yep. Ken, you got any ideas?
I'm thinking it over.
Yeah.
I'm trying to maybe to be part of a scene where even if we weren't the band that came out of the scene and made it big, but to be part of that scene, like the pre-Wilco, the Uncle Tupelo days, like even if you're on the periphery of that, seeing that or come out would be pretty cool.
Yeah.
I meant Adam Reichman. I don't know where Eric came from.
I also think that just if you said dream.
Sure, it could be anybody.
But I think it would be cool to have Rob Halford sing for us, the lead singer from Judas Priest, because he can just wail.
Sure.
Like a lot of our songs have like sort of a hard rock metal sort of feel, but Bob and I are both baritones, so we can't really do that high wailing that Rob Halford does. So I think it'd be pretty badass to have him wail over a couple of our tunes.
That reminds me, I just saw a documentary on Ronnie James Dio. I didn't know much about him at all. I always thought he was British for some reason. But that guy was a really, really cool guy. Aside from being a good singer, he was just really down to earth, interesting person. That's all I got.
So Dio and Rob Halford.
Yeah.
Let's get him.
That'd be
Book it.
Yeah.
On Monk.
Maybe.
Shane's going to make this all happen for us.
Right.
We're going to get on a TV show with our dream scenario.
All right. Yeah. I don't know. It's I don't know. These things are fun to think about. I think. I don't know. Just some are more obtainable than others, maybe. But we're gonna. It's always fun to dream, put it out there, and see what happens.
We'll back them all wearing tights.
Manifest it, So
required.
What about a song you wish you wrote? Is there like speaking of like talking about Springsteen, so these some of the greats, obviously but is there a certain song you just like it hits you that you just like, man, I really wish that was like on our record, like something like that, like that resonates with you, tells your story or anything like that come to mind?
That's a really tough question
Yeah.
because it happens all the time. I'm listening in the car and I'll hear something and I think that the song is just super smart, like perfect. It's got everything it needs. It's got a little bit of a hook. The lyrics are good and clear.
Do you recall the latest time it happened?
No,
I do.
Yeah,
because Ellis mentioned it to us. But the song "Swingin'" by Tom Petty.
Yep, that's a good one.
One of those just straightforward rock songs, not too fancy, straightforward lyrics, great hook.
You're right. I think when we were talking about maybe covering that, I think I was like, man, that's just like a perfect song.
Yeah.
Wish I would have written that.
Yeah.
I was just listening to actually on the way here, the new Gillian Welch, David Rawlings album. The first track on that is really pretty simple song, but just perfectly well done. It's not overly fast, but it still holds your attention. It's a really good song.
Yeah. I believe like sometimes like certain songs just kind of fall into your life. Like you find them at certain, when you need them. Sometimes like it's just like kind of weird, but how it works that way. But you mentioned Tom Petty, and like for me, like Time to Move On. Like I wasn't like super familiar with, but it like came on like right when I needed it to hear it the most, you know. And it's like,
Yeah.
and it's like that song, like I was like, geez, like, you know, it's just, yeah, you're right. It's time to move on. Like
some songs remind you of specific places where you were.
Right.
Others remind you of certain times in your life. Kind of like Bob's song "Private Life" reminds you of exciting times in your life, interesting times in your life. You know that whenever you hear those come up on your playlist, it can take you back there and take you out of whatever strife you're dealing with at work or wherever.
For sure. Yeah, it's it's interesting how you can like time travel through music like that, or you know, you can listen to a song when you were like 16 and you go right back to without cruising around with your buddies in your car and that car or whatever, you know, those moments in time like that is like, it's like those songs are.
And keep trying to create those too.
Right.
So keep trying to listen to new stuff.
Yeah.
Put yourself in different situations where that can still happen.
Yeah.
And we've been around long enough to where our music is that way, you know, like some of those first songs that we wrote back in 2010 era, you know, reminds us of that time, you know, that was almost 15 years ago now. So, like a lot of our fans and people who have followed us through everything, when they hear those songs, it takes them back to that time. So,
yeah,
music's great. Universal language for sure.
Yeah. Have you thought about any of that? Like, doing like, your 20th anniversary or anything?
A retrospective.
Yeah.
We haven't talked about that.
Yeah.
I mean, we got a couple years to plan it, but
right.
But
I definitely want to do a 15-year show. You know, our first show was July 31st, 2010. So somewhere around that time, you know, like late July, early August, I'd like to do a 15. I think 15 is a pretty big deal for local bands. So maybe get some more friends who we've played with along the years to join us. But some of those early songs like Prince of New York, you know, that just takes us right back to those days where our friend Mike was out of work and looking for work, and that's what it was about. And he ended up landing a great job in New York.
Yeah.
So
I got buddies that just went kind of the same theme, like went back, he just went and re-recorded their like high school pop punk band 20 years later, and they put out updated version of these old songs, and I called it 20 Years Better. And like I just think it's so
probably much better recording equipment.
Yeah, for sure. But it's just interesting to think about, like revisit these songs 20 years later.
Yeah.
That, you know, it was a big part of your life at the time, and so
that's a great idea. I had actually, you know, thought of that as well. Like, since we do have a different lineup than we did 15 years ago, so recording some of our old songs with the new lineup, you know, could be, and we play all those songs differently now anyway. Like none of it's the same as it was when we recorded it, but that would be kind of a fun project to pick 10 or 12 of our favorites over the years and reimagine them. It'd be a good 20-year project.
Even just getting ready for the show on the 15th, you know, we decided to pick a couple songs off of each of our albums, and a couple of which we haven't played for years, several years. And we'd sit around at the rehearsal and think, God, we haven't, like, I know exactly where we were when we were first working through this, or I remember writing this down, you know, on a piece of paper or whatever. But it definitely takes you right back to, you know, those spots in time.
I find if it's something you haven't played in a long time and you try to really consciously remember how to play it, you struggle. But if you just kind of relax, you fall back into that muscle memory and that state of mind where you were when you originally played it, and it comes back. There's always little details you have to remember, but the gist of it, it puts you back there and kind of makes you smile when you play it.
Yeah.
Yep. Yeah, these old songs we're bringing back for the show, or they have a little bit of new life to them because we, Justin Fulbright, our new drummer, he's, obviously never played any of these songs live before. So I'm excited for all of our fans to be able to see these songs for the first time in probably a decade, but with a new spin on them. So
yeah.
I
do think that's, even just like the live show aspect, but, obviously just adding one member can you're going to get his influences bringing into what you guys are writing and stuff. So it's like those kind of things. Like
you look at it through their eyes too,
right?
And the parts that get them excited can get you re-excited about them.
Yeah. So it's cool. I'm happy for you guys. I'm glad this record is out there and available now. And so grab a copy and again, come party with us at off Broadway to celebrate this record, Too Many Monsters.
We also celebrate the end of election season too.
Right, yeah.
Oh God.
Yeah.
We're all ready. We're all ready for it to be over.
And then you can find all things at thevondrukes.com, and you can follow along on Facebook for more information. And I appreciate you guys taking some time to do this with me. This has been a lot of fun. I'm glad we could catch up.
Thanks, man. Yeah, thanks for doing this.
Much.
Thanks for having us, and thank you for all you do for the scene. I wanted to mention real quick that, with all the struggles at KDHX, with losing the RFT, the arts coverage here in St. Louis has been severely lacking. But you're picking up the slack and doing good work for it. You're keeping everybody informed on the shows happening, and you're really an advocate for local music. So we really appreciate you.
Yeah, thank you, Jeff. Yep. Appreciate that, man. Mm-hmm. Well, yeah, I'm trying to keep waving the flag, keep trying to fight the good fight and stuff. But it's it's tough out there, man. Like it's but I enjoy it. I just wish there was more people to help me out to keep doing it. So it's a bummer that to see that all these things that were staples in the community are gone or not the same anymore and stuff. So but hopefully some others some new opportunities will happen hopefully, and stuff. We can keep supporting the arts around here. So
great.
Yep.
But well, I appreciate you guys, and let's do it again soon. Let's not make it 8 years next time.
That sounds good.
Yeah.
Perfect.
Yeah. Yep. All right. Bye, everybody.
Thanks.
See ya.